All right, we're back here on the Iona Athletics podcast. Joining us this week is the president of the Iona chapter of SAC, Stephen Furman. Stephen, welcome. How are you to the podcast?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. And for those who are not aware, can you explain what SAC is and what it stands for?
Sure. SAC is the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So we basically have a few reps from each team that serve as a liaison between the student athletes and our senior administrators. So we act as a voice for the student athletes if anything is going well, isn't going well, what we're looking to improve, what we think is basically the best way to improve the student athlete experience here at Iona.
Yeah, and Stephen is the president of the Iona chapter of SAC. So why did you personally want to get involved?
I got involved in SAC my freshman year as a general member. I've always been a leader growing up, and I just wanted to try and gain some skills through being a leader and acting as a voice for my team on campus. And I had some friends on the team that spoke highly of Iona SAC, and then basically got involved, met some great people. And my junior year, they asked me if I would be interested in serving as the president, so I ran, and fortunately I won, and it's been a great 2 years.
So as the president, what are some of your responsibilities with SAC?
Yeah, we basically have an e-board, which is our executive board of a community service rep, a social media chair, a vice president. So we just try to organize throughout the year what certain events we're focusing on, what community service we're getting involved in, and basically any help we can provide student athletes around campus and just try and make their experience a little bit better.
All right, so you mentioned that you joined SAC your freshman year. What were some of the requirements you have to do as just a general member of SAC?
As a member, we were more of just a representative for our team. And when I took on the president role, I kind of oversee the entire operation and what each segment of our committee is doing. So I serve more of like an umbrella over our group rather than just a general member.
Got it. So obviously the SAC network chapters you mentioned, there's a wide array of student athletes on there. We actually had quite a few of them, the SAC members on the podcast this year. We had Malcolm Reno on, Jessica Bellucci, Gabriel Finch, Josh Plint, they've all come on. So it's a wide variety of people that we've encountered and wide variety of people you get to deal with as the SAC president. So do you feel like being part of SAC sort of makes these athletes a closer knit group as opposed to just within their respective teams?
Yeah, I think that's the coolest thing I've come across while being involved in SAC. I get to interact with multiple different athletes in all different walks of life from different areas, different countries even. So I think it's helped me build not only my network, but I've been able to gain friendships that I may not have been able to gain otherwise. So I'm really thankful for what SAC has done for my life, and I'm hoping that I can keep these relationships for many years to come.
Yeah, before we dive deeper into SAC, so let's talk to some of the student athletes who are not in SAC right now, considering possibly for the next years or beyond. So what would you recommend to them in terms of that experience?
Yeah, I think SAC is a great opportunity for anyone that is involved in athletics here. A lot of the stuff that we do off the field helps you gain soft skills that you can kind of carry into not only on the field or the playing surface, but also in the workforce. I've been interviewing for some different jobs as I try to continue my career after college, and a lot of the stuff that I've been able to gain through SAC I've been able to use as talking points in interviews and attributes to my personality.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned before that one of the core elements of SAC is community service. And how important do you feel it is for college athletes to be able to give back to the community?
Right. I think having a good brand here at Iona is extremely important. We're kind of tucked back in a small neighborhood here in New Rochelle, and I think it kind of puts the Gaels on a pedestal a little bit. So we want to make sure that our athletes are giving back as much as they possibly can, just to try and continue to build our Iona brand and have a good reputation around not only New Rochelle but the greater New York City area and Westchester County, and try and show people that we're not just athletes. We're interested in helping the community and giving back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the slogans of this college. One of the mantras of this college is "Fight the Good Fight." We end every podcast with a clip of "Fighting the Good Fight," the song. So I mean, this sort of just is a good way to pay it forward.
Yeah, right. When I visited here, that was one thing that caught my dad's eye. He loved the whole "fight the good fight" mantra, and he still says it to this day. So it's something that I try to kind of live behind and try and continue to fight the good fight.
Yeah, did your dad appreciate the fact that you've stepped up in SAC and become the president, all that?
Yeah, I think my parents have definitely been along with the journey. I had an older brother that was also the president of SAC at his institution, so I think it's just been something that we've always tried to do as a family. We try and give back and help out in any way that we can, and SAC is my outlet to do so.
Absolutely, and obviously there have been every team feel like has one big community service initiative they do throughout the year. Can you talk about some of those that have already happened and some that are going to be happening for SAC in the near future?
Yeah, there's a ton of different opportunities that we get as SAC. Each team is required to do one on-campus and one off-campus community service opportunity throughout the semester. Our one flagship event for SAC has been, over the past few years, has been Lift a Ween, which we partner with the Galata House, and we bring in some local New Rochelle families that are in need of help for the holiday season. And on Halloween night, every athlete comes, dresses up. There's food, games, competition, music, and the families with the little kids come to the event with us. And that's been something that we've really turned into a huge event over the past few years. This year, we were able to surpass last year's goal. We raised just north of $2,500 for those families. So it's been something that's continued to grow. When I was, I believe, a freshman, we raised $600. So last year being at over $2,500 is just remarkable, and it's been a cool event that we've kind of all gotten behind, and it kind of has a special place in our heart now that we've been involved in it the past couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that each team has its own like on and off conference events. Do like your SAC members for each team? Like I know the women's basketball team volunteered some time in Puerto Rico. Like, do they have influence on like what the team does? Is that like done in collaboration with the coaches in your experience?
We kind of, as SAC, we oversee the whole thing and offer to them different opportunities in the community, in different travel arenas, and the basketball team does, obviously, like you said, does a great job in helping us out with their community service. They're so involved, and they're always on top of finding new events and finding new ways that they can try and give back. And them going away on a business trip to Puerto Rico and finding time to give back to the community is just a great thing.
It is a great thing. And one other thing I wanted to touch on is obviously if you've watched any of the Iona broadcasts on the ESPN Plus platform, we honestly see the commercial for MAC SAC. So the MAC is obviously involved in the SAC. Can you explain about the relationship the MAC has with the SAC program?
Yeah, the MAC has their own committee, which is basically just all the vice presidents and presidents at their respective institutions. Last year, I was selected to represent MAC-SAC at Disney World, the national conference, or the MAC-SAC conference. So we went down there for a weekend in correlation with the volleyball championship, which our team was able to win, which made it a little bit better. But it was just an unbelievable experience. We got down there. We had a conference of all the representatives from the different institutions, and we talked about legislation and what's good, what's bad about our conference, and what we could improve as a whole. And we also, while we were down there, found time. We went to Give Kids the World and gave back to some sick children that were in need of our help, and tried to make their day a little bit brighter. So the MAC is totally supportive of everything we do at SAC. They're really invested in our time as student athletes and how we can continue to improve what we're doing in the Metro Atlantic.
Yeah, it sounds like a great experience being able to go down there and meet with all these people from all these different schools. So, like you said, build your network, gain more experience,
Right.
and still be able to give back at the same time.
Right. I've actually met some friends on that trip that I still talk to this day. Whether it be a baseball player at Manhattan, a lacrosse player at Marist, I still stay in touch with them and try and continue to build friendships. And like I said, I'm just thankful that I've been put in the place to do exactly that.
All right, this is my last question for you. So, like, to the student athletes who are not involved in SAC, if they're listening to this and they want to get involved, how would they do that?
They can basically talk to their team. Like I said, each team has representatives, so we're always welcome to bring in new members. And towards the end of every year, we open up our meetings to prospective student athletes that would be interested in joining. They can come check it out, get some food on us, and kind of see what we're all about at Iona SAC.
All right. Thanks for all the time. Keep up the good work, man. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much. Thanks for having me.
No problem.